Hey, what's up, guys? Long live Games Guy here, and today, you know, I've never really covered anything really bad in this series so far. I've not covered any, bad content, no bad cartoon. I mean, I've talked about some bad. Like, Season 7 was probably the closest, Clone Wars Season 7. However, I still enjoyed the season overall. However, we've not talked anything about objectively really terrible yet. Until now. Until now. So, about 2 days ago, I reviewed Avatar The Last Airbender series. The cartoon that was, I think began in 2005. Going to fact check on that, but, you know, it's a really old series. It's over a decade old. And so, this show was very popular back then. And due to its popularity, due to, well, pretty much everything that is popular, it got a movie in 2010 called The Last Airbender. Oh my lord! we're about to get into that in a few seconds, baby. So, let's just freaking hop straight into this joint because I am about to rip this film to shreds. All right. So the first thing we're going to be talking, and I have a list of things to talk about. You hear that? That's my list. That's my list right there. That is my list of things to talk about this film. So let's just hop straight into this because I cannot wait. All right. So the first sign before you even watch the movie, the first sign that this movie is going to be a crap fest is the length. If you just look at the length, the movie's like an hour and 40 minutes long. Now, in retrospective, that means it's mercifully short. However, how in the world were they expecting to squeeze all of season 1 into just an hour and 40 minutes? Like a little bit after an hour and 40 minutes, and and like the other, like, it's really an hour and 44 minutes. However, the last 4 minutes are really just credits. Like, oh my lord, how are you expecting to do that? I don't know. So, like at least make this like a 2 hour film, like 2 hours and 30 minutes, man. Because if you want to cram the entirety of season 1 into a movie, you're gonna have to make it more than just an hour and 40 minutes, but like at least 2 hours, or 2 hours and 30 minutes at the least. But again, it being an hour and 40 minutes means that it's mercifully short, because this movie is horrible. It's a really bad movie. All right, so let's talk about the story. All right, so pretty much the story is a rushed down, freaking broken version of season 1. So pretty much Aang, the classic story. Aang, Katara, these siblings, Katara and Sokka, find Aang in this iceberg, in the middle of, in the middle of in the middle of the South Pole. They find Aang, aka the Avatar, hidden in this iceberg. So it's pretty much just the story of season 1, except entirely worse, because my goodness, they skip so much. I'm gonna give you a little timeline here. So, at about 5 minutes, they already found Aang, which is fine, but like 5 minutes later, the Fire Nation has already captured them. Yes, the Fire Nation already captured him. 5 minutes later. 5 minutes later. And I'm like, this is just a sample of how the timeline of this movie is. So, in like 5 minutes, 10 minutes in, the Zuko and his uncle have already captured Aang and brought him to the Fire Nation, or has imprisoned him on his ship. Now, by the way, I like to point out that Aang in this movie is a coward because unlike in the show where he tries to fight the Fire Nation off and tries to protect the people in the village, here he just hides. Like he just hides and he's nowhere near, and that is the first sign that he is nowhere near the heroic, hero Aang that we've seen through the entirety of friggin' season of the Avatar Last Airbender series. You can already tell this is not the same Aang. And and here's where no. We'll get to the acting later. Let me just finish talking about the story. The story is pretty. The story is pretty atrocious because, Aang he's just hiding, and the Fire Nation. Oh gosh, the Fire Nation in this. They're the most least threatening thing. They are the most least threatening army I have ever seen in a movie. Ever. Like, even armies that are supposed to be supposed to purposely suck for, like, comedic reasons. These guys are still worse. Because they, like, freaking hop around. They run so weird. They, like, hop around like a dang, I don't know. They, like, run. They run so stiff. They look so stupid, especially with their armor and stuff like that. Like their armor just looks so bad in this, and you can't even tell. You can't even tell that they're supposed to be the Fire Nation. Like if you told me, if the movie didn't say that these guys were the Fire Nation, I'm pretty sure you would never be able to tell, because these guys look so stupid and they just run around so stupidly, man. Especially Zuko. Oh gosh, Zuko in this. Like he's just so dumb, man. Like, bro, he is nowhere, you can already tell, he is nowhere near the complex, complex villain he was. You barely learn, like, he's just so dull in this movie, man. And I know that's kind of how he appears at first in the cartoon, too, but he has no emotion. Like, there's no emotion with him. Like, at least you can tell that Zuko was always so angry in here. Like, but in like the show, but here he's just so, I don't know, he's just so dull, man. Like everything, and that's the main thing to describe this movie as: dull, just nothing. It's just blandness. But hold on. Let me finish the story. So pretty much they kidnap Aang, right? And they so Captain not Captain, Uncle Iroh, they set up this test for Aang, right? And so remember, this test consists of whether, he's the Avatar. And so, like, in the show, like, they don't immediately, like, they know he's the Avatar, right? Like, they know, I mean, they don't know, I mean, they know he's the Avatar by the way he, because Aang actually pronounces himself as the Avatar. That's what I'm saying. He pronounces himself as the Avatar so they can take him, they can take him, and leave the villagers alone. But here's the thing in this. The way they find... So Aang doesn't reveal himself as the Avatar. They just kind of take him. They just kind of take him. And so here's the thing. Here's the thing that they do, right? Hold on. Here's the thing that they do. So they place like 4 objects in front of him, right? Each representing each object representing the elements. So first they place like a candle, right? Here they place like a candle. And so the candle automatically bends to him. So, and then they place what, and then they pour water on the table, and so the water again like bends towards him, And so the rock, they place a rock on the table, and the rock bends towards him too. And I don't even remember what they did for air, but you get the point, right? You get the point of how dumb this about how dumb this, like, you see, like, in the way that, like, I know that's M. Night Shyamalan's spin on how they found out in the show, right? Because in the show, the monks know he's the Avatar because he picks 4 items. They place him with like 1,000 toys. All right. They put him with like 1,000 toys for him to play with as a child, but he ends up picking the exact ones, representing the 4 elements. And that's how they know he's the Avatar. I probably explained that quite messy, but pretty much, just in case they explained that messy, they placed him with 1,000 toys. He picked the ones that represented the Avatar. That's pretty much how you found out on the show. But in here, all the elements just bend to him, and I'm explaining why this is dumb. This is dumb because at this point in the series, this whole movie takes place in season 1. In season 1, he only knows knows and has mastered 1 element, air. That's it. That's why he's considered the last Airbender, because he primarily spent all his childhood learning and mastering air. So why does this sucker? Why are all the elements bending towards him when he hasn't even mastered them? If they did this in like when he mastered all the elements, then that's fine, I guess. Like that would be fine because at least he would master all the elements. But Suga, if all these elements bend towards him now, why doesn't he just have power over it? Like, why can't he just why can't he just water bend or earth bend or fire bend immediately if they're all bending towards him? Like, if all the elements are bending towards him, that makes, like, he should. Why can't he just water bend or earth bend or freaking fire bend? Why can't he only air bend still? Alright? Why isn't he just a master immediately? Like, in season 1, remember, in season 1, he just knows earth. He doesn't know fire, water, or earth. In season 1, this still taking place within, like, the 2nd episode of season 1. Alright? Like, no. This is all taking place within, like, I don't know, the 2nd or 1st episode of season 1. But, and so at this point, he definitely only knows air. So why isn't only the air element freaking bending to him? And so okay. Let me get off this for a second, because I can talk about this stupid aspect of the film forever. So so pretty much what happens next is that since all the elements bend towards him, they decide to keep him prisoner since they know he's the Avatar. And they're like, and so Zuko. So, pretty much Appa, yes. The Katara and Sokka go to freaking rescue him on Appa, right? See, the problem with this is that Aang never teaches them how to ride Appa. So he doesn't even, like, how do they even know how to ride him? Alright? Like, in the show, Aang teaches them how to ride Appa, and he pretty much says that they can fly. Like, they teach him how to control and ride Appa. Now, Appa doesn't fly at first, but they quickly get the hang of it. We see them get the hang of it. So by the time that they show up on Appa to save Aang, to rescue Aang from the Fire Nation, from Zuko, like, it makes sense. It makes sense. They don't just show up on Appa. They don't just show up in Appa in this. Oh my gosh, Appa CGI in this. Appa CGI in this. Oh my lord. This is CGI. His CG. like Appa in this looks so terrible. His legs are so skinny. Like, it's hard to describe. I wish I could just put an image on the screen right now, just showing you how bad Appa is, how bad he looks in this movie, man. Like, he looks nothing like he is in the freaking cartoon. In fact, no character looks anywhere near what they freaking look like in the cartoon. But again, I digress. I gotta move on. I only have a limited time on this video. They rescue on Appa, Katara and Sokka rescue him. They rescue they rescue Aang from Zuko. Zuko just lets him go, unlike in the show where he freaking does leaps and bounds to make sure that he still has Aang, to make sure that Aang doesn't escape. Like, they freaking firebend, Aang has to go into the Avatar state and either get them off his tail. Here, Zuko just lets him go. Zuko just lets him go. He's like, I'll get you next time, gadget! Like, freaking like that, you know what I mean? Like, it's just, if he doesn't even scream at them, my bad, it'd be better if he screamed after them. He just stands there and just looks menacingly at Aang. And so, pretty much, we skipped to episode 3, that's pretty much the end. We skipped to episode 3 of season of Avatar, to where he finds out that he's the last Airbender. So, in this is supposed to be an emotional scene, right? No, they show it gets stupid because the freaking scream that this kid does, it rivals Cal's from freaking Jedi Fallen Order. That scream that Cal does, like kind of like that scream. It rivals that. It rivals that, man. It's like hilarious. It's so funny, and like you just don't find yourself caring, and so he gets in contact with this spirit. Like, not freaking Avatar Roku. Avatar Roku's nowhere to be seen in here. Avatar Roku's nowhere to be seen in this movie. Instead, he's guided by this random dragon spirit that shows up out of nowhere. Like, he's not guided by any of his Avatar past lives. He's not guided by any of the Avatar spirits. He's just guided by this weird dragon spirit that just shows up every now and then to say some wise mumbo jumbo at Aang, and then he just goes and leaves. And so pretty much Aang enters the Avatar state. Friggin' Katara calms him down, even though it makes no sense. Wait, one more thing before I move on from this. It's here. Like, when they finally show up at the air temple, at the now abandoned air temple, it's here that Katara decides to ask Aang his name. What? They ask Aang his name when they show up at the air temple. So you're telling me the entire ride, you don't even know this boy's name. Alright? Alright? Like, you don't even know who he is, yet you feel so compelled to save him from the Fire Nation. Which I get, kinda, but you don't, like, you get kinda, let me just move on, bro. This movie is mind-breaking in the worst way. So pretty much, they go to the air temple, Katara stupidly asked him his name. Here's where they meet Momo and stuff like that. Momo's the only decent looking CGI. Well, actually, I take that back. Momo is the most cartoon accurate thing in this whole movie. Momo, the most comic accurate thing in this movie is Momo. Definitely, like, by far, most comic accurate thing. And freaking, you want to know what else? Like, freaking, so pretty much, all right. we cut to, what is it? I think we cut to about Zuko, and his uncle hiding out. All right. Cut to him about, they're pretty much hanging out, right? They just lost the Avatar, right? Wait, no. Wait, no. That's not what happens. That's not what happens. Or wait, is it? No. Hold on. Okay, let me continue. Sorry. This movie's so rushed it bundles up my thoughts. So, pretty much, you skip all the way to the storm episode. Yeah, that's how this. We skip from episode 3 all the way to like episode what, 9, 10. I don't really remember the exact episode that the storm is, but we skip to the storm episode where pretty much we learn about Zuko's backstory. We don't learn a dang thing about Aang. We don't learn. I mean, we do learn a dang thing about Aang, but it's not visualized. They pretty much just tell us everything about Aang. They just tell us what happened, but they tell us like the half of what happened, like the half truth of what happened. You don't really find out the whole truth and nothing but the truth. You just find out the half truth about what happened to Aang. They don't explore a dang thing about Aang. So about Zuko, so they're hiding out. They're at this like, I don't know, this restaurant. And so Zuko, here's how they explain. So, Captain Iroh isn't talking about, isn't talking about Zuko's backstory to his crew members, or to the crew members on the ship or anything like that. Like he ain't doing that. Uncle Iroh ain't doing that, right? Zuko, here's how they do it in the movie. So Zuko, they're eating at this restaurant, and so Zuko waves this random kid over. We never learned this kid's name. He doesn't have any relevance to the rest of the movie. He just this is a big. He's just someone for Zuko to tell his story to. He waves this random kid over for no reason, and it's like, hey kid, yo, you want to hear my backstory? The kid's like, okay. And so Zuko tells him everything about himself. He pretty much tells him that he was banished after he spoke up in a room, but like not even that. Like they just tell him that I spoke up war room, father got mad, and it's not nearly as detailed. Father got mad, and I would challenge me to Agni Kai, and I was banished. Yeah, that's pretty much how they explain it in the film. Nothing special. They're like, hey, I got burned, Agni Kai, banished, I'm stuck looking for the Avatar, and I found him, blah blah blah. Now he tells his whole backstory to this random kid, and then he just sends him off. So it's like, bro, what the freak was that scene? What the freak was that scene? And so we cut to, so pretty much Aang and Sokka and Katara, they're at like some random desert or anything. It's already been skipped to the episode where they find out, where they find the freaking Earthbenders being imprisoned. I forgot the dude's name, but they pretty much find him. I should probably look this stuff up. Hold up a second. So pretty much they find Haru. That's the guy's name, the Earthbender. They find Haru and discovered that his village is being oppressed by the Fire Nation. That's how it goes in the show, alright? And Haru's like this, I don't know, he's like between the ages of, like, I don't know, he looks like between the ages of, like, I don't know, like, maybe 15 to 20, I'm gonna say. He looks like between the ages of 15 to 20 in the show. I don't know exact age, but, like, he looks like about the ages of, like, 15 to 20 when he's first introduced. But in the movie, he looks between the ages of like 5 and 10. I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, wait, what? Wait, what's going on? He looks between the ages of 5 and 10, right? So here's the thing here. Here's the thing that's kind of crazy. All right. Uh, freaking. They find like I'm sorry they don't find him, he finds them. He just randomly goes up to a couple of strangers which he does not know. He randomly goes up to a couple of strangers, right? And is like, please protect me. He didn't say anything, but that's pretty much what he's doing. He's like, please protect me. He just rolls up to some random strangers which he does not know if they're like with the Fire Nation or not. Which by the way, he is running from the Fire Nation, and here comes one of the funniest lines in the movie where he says, where the Fire Nation guard that is chasing him is like, he was bending stones at us from behind a tree. It really hurt. Oh my goodness. It's so freaking stupid. It's so hilarious. But here we get the best scene. They find, let me, I'm anticipation right now. They find him, right? The Fire Nation guys take Sokka and Katara and Aang as prisoners because they find out that they're benders, right? And here comes the actual funny moment in the movie, and there's actually a good moment here. Like, there's actually a good moment of like where, Katara tries to freeze the Fire Nation guards, but he actually ends up freezing Sokka. Like, that's actually like, I can actually see that moment actually happening in the show. I can actually see that happening in the show. Like, that's pretty funny. Like, that is pretty funny. That's something that would happen in the show, or at least the first season, alright? And so here's where we get it, right? Here's where we get to the really dumb stuff, right? And so in the show, when like Katara, and just Katara on the way. This episode, this episode is mainly about Katara, but they just shoehorn, like they don't actually want to develop their characters, so they just shoehorn all of them in there. Katara takes Katara in the show. Katara frames herself as an Earthbender in either to save the Earthbenders on this prison, and they imprison the Earthbenders in the show. The Fire Nation imprisons the Earthbenders on a metal boat at sea. All right, on a metal boat in the middle of the ocean, miles and miles from any sort of land, alright? And so it's actually like a smart tactic, like, alright, so they can't bend at all. Since none of these suckers, apart from Katara, like, Katara is the only one here that's really, friggin' waterbender, So, like, it's a pretty smart move by the friggin' Fire Nation. But in the movie, the place that the Fire Nation decides to imprison the Earthbenders at is in the middle of this. It's in the middle of the freaking, like, this mountainy area, like in this dirt area, like, like it's like a freaking playground, all right? And literally beneath their feet is dirt, like. Earth is surrounding them. No metal bow, and they're not in the middle. They're not in the middle of the ocean or anything. No, they are surrounded by land. They imprison them on land, and they don't even put them in cells or anything. They don't even put them in metal or wood cells. They put them in freaking land. They just let them walk around. They don't even put them in. They don't even handcuff their arms or legs or anything. They don't even try. They're surrounded by land, yo. It's hilarious. They're just surrounded by land, man. Like, hold up, you know what? Instead of just telling you, why don't I show you? Alright, I'ma show you, alright? I'm done talking and just describing to you what happens. I'ma show you the crap, the lack of absolute. I'ma just show you this. Hold up, wait a second.
The Avatar is dead. If he was here, he would protect us.
My name is Zong. And I'm the Avatar. I ran away, but I'm back now. It's time for you to stop.
Now, if you ignore the horrible acting for a second, you'll realize that if you paid attention to the surroundings, they were on what the heck were they doing? They should have been got rid of these suckers. Like, they should have been got rid of these freaking Fire Nation folks. Because, literally, they were at a disadvantage the whole time. No matter what machines they had to friggin' like imprison you, you could have easily defeated them. Cause obviously those machines aren't there now. Look at where they're standing. Look at where they are. They're just walking around. And especially since the friggin' Fire Nation in this movie, they actually have to have fire nearby in order to firebend. Yeah, that's actually a thing in this movie. They have to actually have the firebenders have to actually have fire near them in order to firebend. What the heck? What the heck? What? Guys, we'll get to the bending later, alright? Anyway, this is part 1, alright? This is just part 1. I don't know how many parts I'm gonna have to make, but I'm gonna make them, baby, because this is a horrible movie, and there's a lot to talk about, alright? There is a lot to talk about. Oh my goodness. This is just part 1, alright? Part 1. Alright? You know, screw it. Let me just finish the story in this, alright? Let me finish the story. Let me finish it. Alright, so they defeat the Fire Nation, imprisoning them there. Sorry, the no more gameplay from here on out.